Hi, I'm Andy from Camperent, and this is the T-Line 740. I'm going to take you on a tour around the vehicle, so while you're away enjoying your holiday, you know how absolutely everything works. All of our vehicles are fully cleansed and sanitised before they go out, and everything inside the vehicle is fully replenished. All of our vehicles come with two main keys. Your main ignition key, which does your two front doors, also your ignition, and it also opens many of the diesel caps. You also get your second key, that does your habitation door and all of your outside lockers. Some of our keys may have a third key. If you have a key like this is the key for your diesel cap. All of our vehicles run on diesel. You'll get a full tank of diesel when you leave us for your hire, and all we ask is on your return, you return it full as well. Your main ignition key will open your diesel cap. Simply open the diesel flap, insert your main ignition key, turn and the cap will release slowly. The key will remain in the cap while you're filling. That's so you don't drive off without the cap being put back on. Insert the cap, turn it, and close the flap back up. All of our vehicles are fitted with the gas flow system. Now what the gas flow system enables you to do is to select to run your hot water, your heating and your fridge and your oven and your grill and your cooker from the gas. To open your gas canister cupboard, use your habitation key, undo the handle, and inside here you will have your gas canister, which we check regularly to ensure they are safe. This gauge shows how full the canister is. The gas should always be off whilst you are driving until you are fully parked up. When you're ready to use the gas, turn it on all the way round until it stops. To turn it off, simply turn it back the other way again until it stops. You will also have some attachments. So if you're in Europe and you need to fill your gas up, there's adapters here. When you leave us today, you will have a full tank of LPG. As with your diesel, all we ask is that when you return, that's returned completely full as well. Filling it up in the UK, most Shell garages will have a filling point. If you're stuck and you haven't managed to fill it up before you get back here, there's a Shell garage just round the corner from us. They've usually got a good supply and you can go and fill it up round there. When you're filling, simply unscrew this cap. You'll have this bronze filling point here. Get the pump, connect the pump onto this bronze adapter here. It will have a lever on it. Push the lever over, that will lock it in place. Walk back over to your diesel pump or your LPG pump, normally one button. Hold the button down, the pump will zero. Hold it down again and the numbers will slowly start to scroll to say that it's filling. Once it gets to a point where it's going very slow, release the button. It's then reached its capacity. Come back to the pump, undo the handle, release the pump, and it will make a sound like psh. It's perfectly normal, it's just the pressure being released from the gas. It's perfectly safe. Hang the pump back up. Once you've done that, simply put your cap back on, turn it into place, and you're ready to go on with the rest of your journey. Just before we get to the garage area, just like to point out this vent here. So this vent here will blow out warm air. Now what that's actually doing is removing carbon monoxide from inside the vehicle. So when you have the heating on and you're running the heating via the gas, this will emit all the carbon monoxide, so it's keeping everyone inside nice and safe. We'll now move on to the garage area. To open these, use your main habitation key, undo the key, spin these handles, and the door will open nicely. Inside here, you will have your ladder for your drop-down bed, your 25-metre hookup cable, your warning triangle if the worst was to happen and you were to break down. We have the health and safety box, so you've got two high visibility vests in here, some beam benders for travelling in Europe, two breathalyzers which are essential for travelling in Europe. You've got a first aid kit and some fuses in there. We also supply you with a bucket, a dustpan and brush. You've got an airer. Best place to hang them up is inside your garage area. It gets nice and hot in there and they'll dry nicely and they can drip on the floor that's wipeable. You've got your toilet chemicals in here. You've also got your fresh water hose for filling up your fresh water. To close this area up, simply close the garage, turn these handles, take your habitation key, push the handles in and turn the key nice and gently. And those handles will stick to the vehicle and no one will be able to get inside. Moving further around the back of the vehicle, all of our vehicles come with reversing cameras. Also on the vehicle are bike racks. Now this one's got a full bike rack fitted. I shall demonstrate how that works a bit later. Every single one of our vehicles will have the main frame. Just be careful when reversing and watch out for damaging the bike rack. There's a second entrance to this vehicle here for your garage. Now this is your main loading point, so for luggage or anything you want to take away with you, this is the best place to load it. Again, undo the handles with your key, turn them round, open the garage area, and you've got a nice handy pinch point here. Got lots of access to get inside and put all your luggage and bits and pieces in. Also in here is where your frost protection switches are located. It's located in this cupboard here, and again we'll show you a bit more about that later on in the video. Okay, so further along the vehicle we've got our toilet cassette. Now it's not as bad as it sounds, it's quite simple and nice and easy to do. Further down here you've got your main hookup point for your electric cable. Simply lift this flap up here, reach for your hookup cable, and they're 3 pins, so slowly insert the hookup cable into there and that connects in for you. You'll have power to your vehicle once you plug this end into the campsite end. To open it, simply press down on this black lever and the hookup cable will release. Put the flap down and put your hookup cable neatly back into your garage area. Further down the vehicle, we have our fresh water filling point. The biggest thing to watch out for when you're stepping in and out of the vehicle from both sides is this area here. This is not a step, this is part of the bumper of the vehicle. If you are in a party which has got young children on it, please make sure you take care not to allow them to tread on here because it is breakable. When you've got your ignition key ready, simply insert it into the ignition, make sure your foot is on the brake, turn the key forwards and the engine will start nicely. Now this is an automatic vehicle but it's classed as a semi-auto. So whenever you're on a hill, you must use your handbrake, which is down to the right hand side. And when you pull away today, you'll be on a hill when you leave us. So this is a good test for you. Now to make sure you put it into drive mode, make sure you have your foot on the brake, move it down and to the left, and you'll see on the screen, it says Auto 1. Auto 1 is what you want to drive and it's the best way to drive. If you touch it to the left again, it will just say 1. And then you're in manual mode Tiptronic, so you can go up and down on the gears. Try and avoid that, always stay in auto. When you want to reverse, simply move the gear stick to the right and pull it down. That will put you into reverse and it will also bring up your reversing screen on your main camera here. That looks directly down the back of the vehicle. It doesn't open pan, so always have someone watching you back while you're doing reversing. When you've parked up, move the gear stick up into neutral. That's basically the park in these, and always then make sure you put your handbrake on. Moving on around the rest of the vehicle, if you are unfortunate enough to have a breakdown or there's a hazard ahead, your hazards are here, so make sure you put your hazards on. The cab area itself's got full air conditioning. If you've got people in the back, you put it on nice and high, it will reach the people in the back as well. Most of our vehicles will come with radio Bluetooth and some will have sat-nav. Use the Bluetooth option to connect your phone, it's very easy to do, and if you want to have your phone on, make sure you're doing it safely, make sure you connect it to the Bluetooth. The sat-nav again, it's very, very useful, but please use common sense. If it looks like a field or a lane that you shouldn't go down in this type of vehicle, this size of vehicle, please avoid. Use common sense when using the sat-nav. There's also a handy USB point here for charging things like phones. We also supply the Camper Rent Handbook. So there's also lots of helpful hints and tips inside here about how to use all the equipment. So always refer back to that as well as the video. Okay, so we're now going to enter the habitation area of the vehicle. To do that, you need your habitation key. Simply insert the key, turn it to the left, that'll unlock the vehicle. Best way to open the door is place your thumb on there and gently squeeze the door and it will open nicely. What people tend to do is try and pull on the handle and it won't open properly. Just put your thumb there, give it a gentle squeeze and that will open the door nicely. There's a little grippy point there to keep the door open. Now, when it comes to night time and you want to lock the door up from the inside, all you simply do, flick that up onto red and that will lock the door from the inside. First thing on the morning, when you want to come out, make sure you turn it to green from the inside before you press the handle to open the door. It will open on red for emergencies, so if you need to get out quickly, the door will always open on red. But if it's continuously opened on red, it can damage the mechanism inside. Now, when you're out in one of our vehicles, is we supply you with some flyers. Please pass these on to people if they're interested. That way you can get on and enjoy your holiday and you're not disturbed. With every single one of our vehicles, you will receive a Best of British magazine. So when you're out travelling, if you're stuck for places to stay, this is a good book to flick through. Look for the area you're in and find a decent campsite in there as well. Okay, so welcome to the inside of the T-Line 740. What we'll do is we'll take you around the habitation area, the kitchen area, and we'll show you the two main control panels which are situated just here. This one here is for your water pump. So if you want to run any taps, flush the toilet, have a shower, you must put this button on here. When you turn that button on, you will hear a slight rumble, but that will calm down once the water starts coming through. This is an outside light, and that outside light is above your habitation door here. This is all your internal lights. You've got various light switches throughout the vehicle. You've also got blue LED running lights. But if you want to watch your television in your vehicle, you also need to have that light on because the television is wired through the same circuit as your lights. This one here is a temperature. Tells you what the temperature is inside the vehicle. It doesn't control any of your heating. It's just a temperature guide. This one up here is your next important one. This is your water. This is your leisure battery. That will show you how much your leisure battery is charged. All of our vehicles have solar panels on the roof. That charges the leisure battery, and the leisure battery also charges from the engine battery when you're driving. The only way your vehicle will run out of charge is if you parked it in a cave, and even then it will last anywhere between 2 and 3 days. Next one down is your engine battery. They've just added this in just so that you can tell that the engine battery is getting charged. We're now going to talk about your heating and your hot water, which is this panel here. It's called the Truma system. It's not just a handy clock, it also powers your heating and your hot water. This big dial in the middle, if you click the button, that brings on your main menu. So your first option here, this is for your heating. The one that's flashing, that's your heating, click onto that. Scroll to the temperature you want to set it at, for example 18 degrees, click it. All you need to do then is scroll across to where your gas and the electric symbols are, click into there. If you're running everything off gas, just select gas, click it for gas. If you're running on electric on hookup, it's EL2. They're the only options you need, gas or EL2. Select EL2, click it, and then you'll be able to run your heating through your electric. We're going to select gas for now. Once you've selected your option, go to your fan, and you've got eco and high. If we put it on high, if it's rather chilly, the hot air will be pushed through the vehicle, through the vents, and it will warm up here nice and quickly. Put it on eco, you just want to take the chill out, it will steadily put warmth through the vehicle. To get back to the main menu, press the back button and that will take you back to the clock. We're going to click back into here. We're going to move across to the next section, which is your hot water. So when it's flashing, click into it. You've got 3 options. You've got eco, hot and boost. If it's first thing in the morning, you want a nice hot shower, select boost, click it. Again, scroll across to your gas and your electric panel. Click the button again. If you're on gas, select gas, click gas. If you're running on electric on hookup, select EL2. We're going to select gas again. Now that's selected, your hot water, it will flash up here. When that goes solid, that will show that your hot water is ready to go. If you put it on boost, it will normally take around 9 to 11 minutes and you'll have a nice hot shower. We've also got a talk to us sticker up here, which is really important. That gives us our opening hours, and it also gives you our out of hours text message service number, so you know how to get hold of us at any time. And all of our vehicles have what we call the Find It sticker. So the Find It sticker gives you an indication to where the frost protection switch is. Now all of our vehicles are fitted with frost protection switches. What that means is if the temperature drops below freezing, the vehicle will dump its water from its tanks and from its pipes so that your pipes don't freeze. That means that you can always put more water in and you can still get water running through your taps and for your shower and for your toilet. Now if that happens, you need to reset it. And this gives you the location of where it is. Okay, so in the back of the vehicle here, we have an access panel, and inside this access panel is the frost protection switch. If you press this silver button, that will give us access to this area. And it's this tiny little black box here with this blue diamond on, which is the frost protection switch. Find the blue button on the other side of this black box. It's a tiny circular blue button. Push that blue button in, and that will reseal your tanks. If this blue diamond looking shaped button on here has spun round the other way, so it's facing up and down rather than left and right, just turn that again so it's this way round. Again, press the blue button, it will reseal your tanks and you'll be able to fill your water back up, so you've got fresh water coming back through your taps. Further down here, we've got the RCD unit trip switches. If the hookup fails or there's a power cut on the site, the RCD unit trip switches are in the cupboard under the oven and the grill. And it's exactly the same with the gas isolation switches. Again, they are in the cupboard under the oven and the grill. Okay, so underneath your oven and grill, you've got a cupboard down here. You'll find your gas isolation switches and your RCD unit trip switch. When you collect the vehicle from us, your gas isolation switches will look like this. When you get to campsite and you want to use your fridge on gas instead of electric, all you need to do is turn that handle there, and that will produce gas into the fridge. When you select gas on the fridge, you can then run it using the LPG system. The RCD unit trip switch is below here. If you're on your campsite and the campsite has a power cut for some reason, just go to the RCD unit trip switch and you'll see the switch which is moved across. All you've got to do is flick that back in place and you'll then have power back into your motorhome. This is your water. So if you press it once, that's for your fresh water. Now when you leave us today, you will either have between 75 and 100% fresh water inside your vehicle. If you press it a second time, that's your grey water. So that shows that your grey water tank is currently empty. Now when you leave with us, it will either show 0 as it does now, or 33% if we are on a slight slope. This indicates when you also need to empty your grey water. So when this is up to 100%, that's when you need to empty your grey water. Your grey water tank has a lever on it. Now underneath the side of the vehicle here is a lever. It's a black lever, and to empty your tank, all you simply need to do is pull that lever out towards you. Okay? When you've pulled the lever out, this drain pipe here will drain all the grey water. The best place to drain that will be certain campsites will have an area, maybe on your pitch, or have a drain, or they have an area on the campsite to drain, or you can drain it over drains on the road, cattle grid, somewhere like that. It's not dirty water, it's just washing up water, shower water. Once you've pulled it out, push the handle back in, that will seal your tank, and then you can refill your water and get ready for your next use. So in here, we have a blue cap. Some are attached to the blue string plastic, some will be loose. Once you've opened it, get your green flexi hose, which is in your garage area inside your bucket. The end which has got the green garden hose end on like this is the end that fits neatly inside to the filling point. And when it gets to the point where it's full, water will start to fall out of here. That's how you know the tank's full. Turn it off at the tap, remove the hose, refit your cap. Again, you can lock it with your habitation key, close the flap, and that's your water tank filled up. Your water tank holds 100 litres. As that water's being used through either washing up, having a wash, shower, flushing the toilet, what will happen is it will flow into your grey water tank. Okay, so we're now in the kitchen area of the vehicle, so we'll talk about the kitchen and the appliances that you've got in here. So we've got hob for cooking on. We've also got an oven and a grill down here as well. In terms of igniting your hob, all you need to do, get the handy igniter that we supply with you, choose the hob that you want to ignite, make sure the gas is coming through, and that hob will ignite nice and easy for you. Hold it in for a few seconds, make sure it's all loaded, and release, and that will keep the burners going. When you finish cooking, obviously, make sure that you turn the hobs off, leave this glass panel up, don't put the hob glass panel down straight away, it will crack. Further down here, you've got your oven and your grill. Got a grill selector and an oven selector, and it has its own igniter. Whenever you are doing any cooking in the vehicle, please make sure that you have this window open just to prevent any carbon monoxide that might be coming through from the gas. So to do that, simply push these buttons in, turn the handles, and push the window open. The window will hold in place. It's actually quite nice to have a free breeze there anyway when you're cooking on a hot day. When you're finished, simply pull the window in, and all you've got to do is turn the handles and the buttons will pop out to relock the window. Above here in the kitchen area, you've got your cupboards for storing your plates and bowls. Now the handles are squeezy handles, so you squeeze the handle and they'll open up. You've got your plates, bowls, mugs, wine glasses, decanters in there. Slowly close them and you'll hear it click. It clicks in place so they don't open while you're driving along. This one again, Got a bit more storage in there for food and bits and pieces you want to put in there. Underneath here is a handy plug socket. There's a toaster within it with every vehicle. That's the point for plugging your toaster in. You do need to be on electric hookup though for your toaster to work, because you need to be on hookup for all your plug sockets. In this area here, it's a secret hideaway cupboard. So you squeeze that button in and open the cupboard. In here, you've got your cooking utensils, pots and pans, and your oven grills. Secret drawer here is for all your cutlery, knives and bottle openers. And then down here, you've got your toaster and your traditional whistling kettle. You've got your oven and grill down here, which I explained earlier. Also down here is your gas isolation switches and also your RCD unit trip switch. Okay, so we're now going to talk about your fridge freezer. Now to power your fridge on, it's all touchscreen. Press this main button here, hold it down, and your control panel will light up. Now there's three ways of running your fridge. You can run it on the engine battery when you're driving, and when you're parked up you can run it on your gas or your electric hookup. Now to choose how you run it, it's all touchscreen. Just press this square here, it will go through the different options to choose how you want to run it. The plug socket, that's your electric. The battery is your engine battery, and the flame is your gas. When you've selected the one you want to run it on, all you simply do, move to the next box. Again, it's touchscreen. Make sure it's on 5 bars initially, because then it will start to chill, get everything nice and cool in there, and it will start to produce frosting in your freezer. If you start seeing it frosting too much in your freezer, just knock it back down to 3 or 4 bars. Whenever you're moving around and driving, you must make sure that you turn your fridge onto engine battery. The reason being is that you can't be on hookup, obviously. You can't drive around with a cable attached to your motorhome, and you can't have the gas on while you're driving. So if you put it on an engine battery, what it will do is it will cool and keep the temperature of that fridge, of what the temperature is when you left. It'll keep it at that constant temperature, so all your food and all of your drinks and everything inside remain fresh. We will now make our way through to the bedroom area and the bathroom area. Simply slide this panel open, and it opens up to your toilet area, your main bathroom sink, and also your shower area. Now in here, you've got 2 pressure squeezy handles under here. They will open these cabinets here, so you've got extra storage. You've also got extra storage in this cupboard under here. You've also got a handy little storage area at the top here, and also some storage above the toilet here as well. This is your main shower in the T-Line 740. Simply unhook this, and your shower guard will move round, and it will go round completely here to seal any water in when the shower's on. Before you take the shower, please remove the brown tray at the bottom. Take that out of the shower. When you finish your shower, replace that wooden board back in, and then what that means is that that floor is dry, so people can still walk through here without getting wet feet. The toilet itself will swivel for comfort. On the back of the toilet there is a blue button. The blue button is the flush button. On the back of the toilet there is a small screen. When you leave us today, that small screen will be green. That indicates that the toilet is clean and ready to go. As it's being used, that screen will go red. When it's fully red, that's telling you that it's time to empty your toilet cassette. Once it's emptied, that screen will go back to green. When it comes to emptying your cassette, you need to use this grey lever here to open and close the hatch of your toilet. So it moves from left to right. Once the hatch is closed, you can safely remove your cassette outside. All you simply do is push these 2 buttons in here. That will release the flap and give you access to your toilet cassette. Now inside on the toilet, there's a grey lever on the bottom of the toilet. That grey lever moves left and right. What it's actually doing is opening and closing the hole on your toilet. Before you empty your toilet cassette, you must make sure that that hole is closed. If the hole is closed, squeeze this blue handle and the cassette will slide out nice and easy. If you go to pull the handle and the cassette is feeling a bit stiff and it's not coming out, there's a good chance that the cassette and the hole on the cassette is open. Go and close it and the cassette will come out nice and easy. Take the whole cassette with you to the emptying point. It's normally a toilet block, or they have a sanitising area on site. Once you're there, spin this arm around here, unscrew the blue cap, pour your contents away, give it a wash round. They've normally got a wash facility. Put your blue cap back on, turn the pipe round and lock it back in place until it clicks. Whenever you do empty your toilet cassette, please make sure you tell everyone on your party that you're doing so. The last thing you want to do is take the toilet cassette away and have someone use the toilet and end up with a nasty mess in here. Please also remember to bring your toilet cassette back clean and empty. There is a charge if it comes back with any waste in the tank still. Once you're done, simply flip that back up. You can lock your toilet cassette up with your habitation key as well, and that seals it all in there. Once it's all cleaned, simply come back in, open the hole on the top on the toilet, get one of your blue chemical sachets, and simply pop that down inside the toilet. Here we are in the rear of the T-Line 740. This is your fixed double bed area. We have wardrobes over either side of the bed. There's also two large cupboards above the bed as well. Nice skylight which opens, and that also has a fly blind and a full blackout blind, as do all the windows in this vehicle. The bottom of the bed has a handy hatch. It's really good for storing shoes and anything else you might wish to store in there. Also at the foot of the bed is the second television in this vehicle. So we have two tellies in the T-Line 740, one at the front and also one in your bedroom as well. Okay, so the second bed in the T-Line 740, which is also a double bed, is above the main seating area. In order to bring the double bed down, there's two arrows on the board here. It's an electrically lowered bed. Simply hold the down arrow and the bed will lower. Watch out for these cushions, they're Velcro, you can remove these, but we'll just hold it in just for now. Now the bed will lower down to the height of this kitchen worktop. When you've got it to that height, simply get your ladder from the garage, hook your ladder over the rim of the bed here and climb onto the bed nice and safely. When it's time to put the bed back, remove the ladder, hold the up arrow and the bed will go nicely back up to the ceiling. Feel free to leave your pillows and your duvets up there, they will be absolutely fine. Okay, so we're in the lounge area now, which is where you can sit down, have your meals, have a relax in the evening. You've also got your table, and this can be adjusted. You've got a grey lever here. Pull the grey lever, the table will slide, so you can pretty much put it into any position that's suitable for you and your party. We always slide it over and keep it over there, just so that when you're making your way into the vehicle, you've got plenty of space to move around. All the windows in the vehicle, they all come with fly blinds and full blackout blinds. Here we have the carbon monoxide sensor, which is fitted to the windows in all of our vehicles. It's only fitted to one window, and it's the window above the carbon monoxide vent on the outside of the vehicle. If you go to put the heating on in the evening or during the day, if it's a cold day and the heating doesn't work, please check that the window that the sensor is securely locked and closed. If it isn't, it will stop the heating coming on in the vehicle if you're running it off the gas. The reason being is that the vent doesn't want to allow the carbon monoxide to re-enter the vehicle. Okay, so when it comes to night time and you're ready to go to bed, the T-Line offers blinds on every single window in our vehicle, including the front windscreen and the driver and passenger side windows. To put your blinds up, all you simply need to do is grip these two buttons here, simply slide this across, same with the other side, and they magnetically pinch together, so you've got full privacy at night. With your side blinds, again, pinch these two areas here, delicately slide these blinds along, and they go into place there. You've got full privacy now at night time, and that's on every single window inside this vehicle. Okay, so if you've chosen the option to take the bike rack on your holiday, this is what it will look like when you receive the vehicle. To work the bike rack, simply move these arms up, pull the rack down, and you can start to load your bikes on here. All of our bike racks take a maximum of 4 bikes. Once the wheels are in place on here and strapped in using these straps, you can then pull these levers down and strap in the main frame of the bike. Once they're all secured and on here, we do recommend that you bring your bike locks just to secure them. If you're stopping off somewhere to grab some food or into a service station, the last thing you want is your bikes go missing, so make sure you put your bike locks on. When you're ready to take your bikes off, simply move your arms up, fold it back up so these clips grip this part of the frame, and fold these arms back down. This just makes the bike rack more streamlined when you're traveling around. 'Cause these are the best days.